Right, because some of my patrons have invested some money in one of these, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go through how to set one of these up with the bog standard stuff on it, yeah. So we're just going to set it up how I would set it up anyway, alright. So I'm going to set this up how I would set it up so you guys can mess around and join me on. Yeah, Pi Amiga is brilliant on this. Anyway, so we're going to quickly get started, yeah. So I've rearranged my desk here a bit, so when we finish I'm going to be moving stuff around. I can't be over this side too much. So a totally clean setup, right? I've even got the SD card in the machine. I've not burnt it, so we're going to be wasting a bit of time burning the SD card. But I wanted to go through, start building something usable, because there's a lot of stuff on the image anyway, on this, and how I do a basic setup. So I've got my basic setup. I've got all the script already written out, what I follow when I'm doing it. So this is what we're going to do for the first hour or so, yeah? It's just so you guys can set up one of these, and then I'll show you how to download one of the Pi games from GitHub on my Git, yeah? And then when we finish with this, we'll go back to Myriad and carry on with that. But I thought because some of my patrons are buying these, I thought I'd show them how to set it up. So when we do Pi Myriad, when we do the Python version of Myriad, you can follow along using one of these. And I'm going to use this. I'm not using the Pi 4 in the rack. I'm using this. So I've got all the cables laid out. I think I've got my capture card working. We will find out. All right. So let me just plug everything in, so I don't have to worry about it in a minute. Plug it all in. Too many cables. Not enough space. There we go. Right. So, first things first. First things first. You need to download the Raspberry Pi Imager, which you can get from the Raspberry Pi website. Yeah. If you're going to computers, I think it is. Or is it software? There we go. You can download the Raspberry Pi Imager. Well, they are not that expensive. Not compared to a Raspberry Pi at the moment, anyway. So if you just buy the Raspberry Pi 4, just the unit itself, nothing, no power supply, because remember I'm plugging this power supply into my USB power source that powers the rack. Yeah, so I've got a spare USB socket on there, so I'm just powering it by that power source, and it's the same power source that powers the the signs. I've got one behind my head there that's powering all those signs. All right. And as you can see, they're about £80 if you buy a British one, or you can buy the complete kit, which is what I bought when I originally bought it. That's got mouse in, the power supply, the cables, everything, and even a book for 130 quid. All right, and it's right. Just remember this. I'm not going to pick it up because I've plugged it all in. This is faster than a Pi 4. Right? It's overclocked a bit faster because it's got a massive heatsink inside. All right. So you have to download the Raspberry Pi Imager, yeah, and it's for Mac and Linux as well. And what you do is, I've already got the SD card in my computer. In fact, I'll pop it out. Right, so I've got an SD card, yeah, and that's a housing. Of course, there you go. Small micro SD card. It's a 16GB jobby, and I've just put it in a thing so I can plug it into my SD card slot on the computer. Now it's going to complain because there's something on it, and it's going to Here we go. It's going to have fits. Yes, I know you can't format it. Go away. Right. Now, the beauty of the Raspberry Pi Imager is that you can tell it which operating system to install. So, now this is what I've got on my computer. This is what I've downloaded already. So, whatever you've got, you can pre-cache or pre-download. So, I've used the 32-bit, but there is a 64-bit version, there's a light version, there's the legacy version. I think that's Buster, I think. But I'm going to use the PiOS 32-bit. I'm not going to use the 64-bit, but they're all the same. But I just didn't want to have to download it, yeah? So I'm going to tell it to install the PiOS onto that SD card. Then you tell it where you want to do it. Make sure you pick the right drive. Or you'll end, if you got other USB, don't. There is more on the 32-bit. Alright then. Right, make sure you pick the right USB drive. Right? Don't want to wipe stuff you don't want to do. Now I know it's this one because it's a 16 gig one. Right? So we're going to put it on that. Yeah? Now, when you do a Raspberry Pi image, you get this little cog here, which is brilliant. Click it. Right? And for this session, I'm going to set the host name. So this is what I'm going to call this Pi, right? So this is going to be Pi Demo. Yeah, so I'm going to call it Pi Demo. I'm also going to enable SSH. So I'm going to use a password. I'm going to use the password authentication for Pi. So I'm going to set the password for Pi. There we go. Oh. So set the username for Pi. I'm not going to configure my Wi-Fi, alright, because I'm just going to turn it on, alright. So that's my Wi-Fi, because I want it to connect to Wi-Fi. But in there you would put your password and your SSID for your... Yeah. You can do it like that, Docster. I'll come to that. So I'm not going to show the password. I'm going to set the locales to be me. I'm in the UK. And then I'm going to say save. And then when you've done that, you just press write. You go, okay, yes, please, no. And you let it run. Right? And this, here we go. So now it's formatted the SD card. And now it's writing the image to the SD card. You did the 64-bit. That's fine, mate. I mean, it's personal choice. But as FaZe has gone and said, there's more stuff on the 32-bit version. So it might already be you might have to do some installations of certain things on the 64-bit. I've not used the 64-bit one yet. So it's now writing to the card, and when it writes to the card, I'm going to pop it into the Pi 400, and then we're going to see if we can get into it. We should be able to get into it straight away. But if we don't, then this is going to be a long one. Yeah, I don't know what's missing. I've not installed the 64-bit version, but I know on the 32-bit version, everything's installed. Even the Sense Hat emulator, I think that's installed. Yeah, but I've got the proper one. I got the real hardware. So, but we'll let this write. This SD card isn't particularly fast. It's just something that I picked up out of my SD card collection that I've got. And because it didn't have a label on it, I thought, right, that's the one. That's going to get overwritten. But I have got many SD cards. While that's doing it, I got many SD cards. All of them are in here. All with... Hang on. So that's what's in here at the moment. And they've all got different things on it. So I've got a VIC-20 emulator. I've got the Amiga emulator. I've got the Pi 4 development. Twitchbot's on here. The original Twitchbot's on here. I've got the Pi Retro dev system, which allows us to develop on this for the 64. And then I've got 2 SD cards full of games for RetroPie. And there's a few more in there with no labels on them, so they must be blank. So I've got there, and now I've got loads and loads of SD cards. Loads and loads and loads of them. Actually, there was a sale on Amazon, so I bought loads of them. Where did I put the label on that? Well, there's actually labels in the inset, so when you take them out, it tells you what they are. I have got too many 8 gig ones. I've got quite a lot of 16 gig ones. My standard one is the 32 gig one. So everything I have is 32 gig. On the Pi 4, which is in there, has a 128 gig in there. And it works quite happily. The Pi 400 development one is a 64 gig. So I'm telling you now, 64 gig is plenty. Plenty. No, you can't have... you can't do 2 images, but you can partition for a multi-boot, but you have to use Berry Boot for that sort of thing. So I just buy SD cards. They're cheap. You know, 16 gig ones like 8 quid. I think 32 quid one's tenner. 32 gig one. So I've just bought a lot of SD cards, and I have different SD cards doing different things. Yeah. So we're verifying it. So hopefully it's not gonna be that long. I mean, this is the easy bit. I mean, we're gonna install a little bit. There we go. So now the computer's complaining because there's some partitions on there it doesn't recognise. That's it, done. So we'll pop the card out. Yeah, Pi Amiga's very, very good. Right. So I'm going to swap over and let's see if my capture card works. So that is the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to plug it in. Right, let's find the SD socket. Seeing as there we go, that's the one. Push it in. Right then. Here we go. Switch it on. Plug it into the USB power converter. Please. Oh, look at that. My card work. Oh, no, it's working. Oh, I was a little bit worried then. So we'll let it boot up. So what it does, if you've got, because the image is small, when it first boots up, it goes, oh, you've got 64 gig of SD card. So it makes the partition fill the SD card. So if you had 128, it would fill it, and that's why it's doing these reboot cycles. All right, pretty standard. When we get the desktop on there, that's when we know it's done, and we can have a sigh of relief. Come on, you can do it. Unless this SD card's stuffed. Is it booting up? Oh, maybe the SD card's bust. It's probably why it didn't have a label on it. Oh, hang on. Am I being impatient? Come on. There we go. There we go. I'm being impatient. Right. So, the Raspberry Pi is now online. Yeah? So, if you haven't got a monitor or anything like that to plug in, you can always connect to it via SSH. And the way to do that, right? So I'm just going to switch back because we don't need that for the moment, right? So you run a command prompt, right? Or a bash terminal or whatever. And what you do is you do SSH pi at pi demo. That's what we called it. Right? My network already knows that it's online, yeah? So you have to type yes. It's really annoying. You have to type the word yes. Yeah? Now, I don't know if you guys can see that. I wonder if I can boost the font on this. Let me see. Can I boost the font on this? Font. Is that better? Is that better? Right, type in yes. Yes again. Right. Type in the password. And now we're in. We're now into the Raspberry Pi, which is here. So, but I don't want. I mean, I can do everything via SSH, but if you've got a headless one and you ain't got a monitor in it, then you can remote into it via VNC. And the way to do that is you have to configure it. You have to configure the Raspberry Pi. So you have to do sudo raspi config. Yeah. Well, you can set the username when you. What do you know? When I went into the cog onto the, I think you can set the username there. Yeah, you can set the default username there. But you can create a new user if you wanted to. I've always used that, but I've always used the Pi user, but then messed and changed the password. So we're going to the config. No, there's plenty of other places. If you go and search online, you'll be able to create a new user account and get rid of the Pi account if you want. Right. So the way to do VNC is you have to go into. Yeah, exactly. Credit ID, exactly. So if you want to use VNC, you have to go into interface options, and then you have to enable VNC. So you click on it and you go, yes, please enable. Okay, done. That is done. The next thing is you have to tell it when you're VNCing in what you want your resolution to be on VNC. So you click. So let me go back there. There we go. You go into display options, VNC resolution, and then you can tell it what resolution you want. So we'll go for that one. Yeah. Press OK, and that's it. We're done. So you can click finish, and it's going to say I want to reboot. Oh, okay. Off you go. So we'll just wait for it to come back on. So I'll just switch it on so we can see what it's up to. I'll switch on. So this is the capture card. Now we're not doing any sort of overclocking. This is just the normal stock speed, which I think is 1.8 gig or something like that. So we're back. So if I come back in here and come on, stop. There we go. Go back into it. Say yes. Raz. No, that's not the password. Keep typing in the wrong password. That's the one. We can now. So we're back in SSH, and you can download the VNC client off the internet. It's free. You can do what you want with it. So I'm going to tell it Pi demo. Go and search for Pi demo. So it's going to search. It's going to say, oh, look, I found it. You click OK. We're not doing on. We're doing that one. And it's that password. I'm not going to remember the password. Click OK. And there you are. You are now VNC'd into the Raspberry Pi. we can do everything on the Raspberry Pi that we could do with the computer. That's if you've got no monitor and you're using a headless situation, which is, I mean, my rack is headless, so the TwitchBot's headless. As you know, I go into VNC to get into the TwitchBot. But if you've got the keyboard and you've got it plugged into a monitor, you don't need to set up VNC. You only set VNC if you want to, if you've got no monitor connected to it and it's headless. Yeah. So I'm going to finish the setup. So I'm going to say next. I'm not going to bother changing the password because I've already done it. Next. No, I'm not skipping that because we're already set up. And do I really want to update? Because that's going to take a while. We'll skip that for the moment. And then click done. That's it. Done. Now, I'm not going to use VNC because once I've finished setting up, I'm going to be switching over OBS to the hardware. And then we're going to be using hardware direct, yeah? But you can do quite a lot using this SSH to set up. And what I'm going to do is, this is how I do my default setup. If you want to follow and copy what I do, please do so. I will put all this stuff on Discord if you want it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a network share on the Pi so we can pass files to and from it, to it and from it, without having to plug in at USB sticks, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set it up for having a file share. And to do that, we need to install some software because it doesn't come as default. So we do sudo. Now, sudo means super user. It means treat me as administrator. And then we're going to tell it to do app get install. And the packages we need to install is Samba and Samba common dot bin Samba dash comma dash bin. That's it. Click O. It's going to then look. It's going to say, oh, this is what I found. There we go. And you tell it to install, and off it goes. Oh no! Right. I need to update. Oh no. Oh. Maybe I should have updated the system when I had the chance. We'll get it to update the system first. There we go. Right, let's see if we can install now. Yes. That's better. That's better. So we need to do the update. We need to do the update. I'll put that in the notes. I'll put that in the notes. There we go. Yeah, always update on a new system install. Yeah. I now know that. Right, this shouldn't take too long because it's only a small thing. There we go. So now we've installed the software. Now we have to set it up. So the first thing we have to do, Samba. Samba is the file sharing networking system to allow you to create a file share on the Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So we need to set up a user for this file share. So we're going to set up a Samba password. We're going to add the user Pi. Now I'm using the user Pi. You can use any user if you want. If you wanted to call it files, then that's fine. So yeah. So I'm just gonna oops. Oh, have I messed up? Oh yeah, I missed that. There we go. So it's asking me to set the thank you, FaZe. It's asking me to set the password of this new Pi network Pi user. So I'm going to do that. Type it in again. And now the Pi user for network sharing has been added. Yep. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the directory where we want the share to be located. So I am going to put it into, do I put it in, do I want it there? Do I want it there? Or yeah, I mean, I use it because because you got to remember, right? My Pis are in racks that I cannot get to, yeah, because they're all headless, right? So I've got in there another Pi rack with 5 Pis in it, all doing different things. But to physically get to them, I got to shift a lot of stuff out of the way if I want to put a USB stick in. So that's why my default is to create a share that we can drop files into. So I'm going to go into Documents, and I'm going to create a directory where I'm going to link my file share to. Don't confuse me, mate. It's took me a long time to get this nailed down. Right, so first thing we need to do, we need to make a directory. So we're going to make a directory, and this is what I do. This is how I make the directory. So we do make dir, tell it we're going to mask it, and it's 077. Right, I have no idea what that means. I don't care. This is not going to be visible to the outside world. It's just for me. And we're going to call the directory Pi share. Yeah. There we go. So if I do ls now, we have now got a new directory called Pi share. That's fine, Doctor. That's fine. I'm just doing it so people can do it. People can see. Now we have to tell. Oh, is it? Oh. Secure copy. Oh, I'll have a look into it. But now we're going to configure Samba to use that. So the way to do it is we need to open up its configurator. So sudo nano, which is the text editor, and it's in ect samba smb.conf. There we go. And you scroll all the way down to the bottom. There we go. And we just type it in. So Pi share, woo, Pi share. And right. So I'm not going to copy everything. I'm going to literally copy this and paste it in. Oh, it won't paste, will it? Will it paste? Oh, there we go. Nice. Right, I need to change that because it's not, it's home Pi documents Pi share. That's the actual file location where it is. So basically we're saying this is where our path is to the file share. This is the name of it. Because you can have the files, you can have the directory in your file store a different name to the actual share itself. You're going to say it's browsable, it's writable, guests can't get access, so you have to log in. And then the mask is the same as what we've done. And then just save it. Yes, please save. Done. Now we just reboot it. There we go. So it's rebooting. Let's go back to it. Don't you need to remove the comment? No. New Linux admin is born. No. No, I do not profess to be an admin. I'm just showing you how I set it up. Right, we'll wait for the pie to get back where it is. There it is. So I'll come back to the screen. We'll log back in. There we go. So we should now have a share on there. We should. Or maybe Windows needs to search for it. We'll leave it for the moment. Right. So the comment is there is just is a description for the thing. Now I install some other apps. Yeah. So the first one I install, apt install NeoFetch. Right. Now this is a application just interrogates the Raspberry Pi for you, so you can see what's going on. Right. So NeoFetch. There you go. So it just tells you what's going on, and also it allows you to see who you logged into. It doesn't give you IP address, which is annoying, but it allows you to see if the thing is working. I'm going to have this checking for, because if my come on. If I can see it via SSH, I should be able to see it from here. No, I can't see it yet. I think there was an error in the config file. Okay. Oh, that could be. You could be right there. Hang on. Home Pi Documents Pi Share. Home Pi Documents Pi Share. Well, that's right. It'll get. I think it'll get there. Just waiting for it to see if it comes up on the network. I mean, it's strange how I can SSH into it. I don't know how to find out if Samba's working. Oh, hang on. I wonder if it's because of that. Let's reboot it, let's find out. Oh. Okay. When it comes back, we'll try it. I'm sure it's correct. I'm sure it's correct. The directory's correct. I should see the service running. Yeah, let's just see if the... Oh, it's come back already. Oh, keep typing in the wrong password. Right, so ps-ef pipe grep SMB. Is that saying SMB is running? Is that saying that the service is running, yeah? I'm not sure. No, I forgot. Oh, right, okay. No, it's not. Oh, no. What have I done wrong then? This normally works. Ooh, yeah, pie share. So we're gonna put one here. I'm going to look at it, mate. I'm going to look at it. So I've created a directory
Oi,
here.
John, pay attention to chat.
I'm going to get to it, mate. I saw you. I saw you. I'm going to check. All right. You're mean. Get rid of that, yeah? Could be. Now, there's a way of restarting this, I think. Nah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Oh. Is that the... Oh, hang on. Oh. Did that not install then? Oh, pants. What does it mean, Samba service you're not found? Does that mean it didn't install right? Oh. There is no log. Alright. Right, let's see if we can log in. There we go. Thank you very much. I am going to make a note of that. Right, let me just put that in my notes. There we go. So, we've now got a share, and it's going to try and log in, which it won't do. So tell it, and there we go. No, that's alright, Face. That's alright. That's alright. I'm no Linux guru, and I don't profess to be, but this is how we set it up. So now we've set it up that we can put files on the system, yeah? Right, that's that bit done. So we've installed NeoFetch. Now there's a couple of other things I'm going to install, because this helps when you're running your Pi, yeah? So BAOBAB. This is like a file store analyzer. It's really, really good, and I love it. And I'll show you when we go onto the OS. So that I'm installing that, and then the other one, when it's finished, is gparted, and that's a partition analyzer. So if you wanted more than one partition on your SD card, this pseudo stuff's Adam. Hey, it's took me several years just to get my teeny tiny knowledge, and I don't mind. I don't mind. Right. That's now set up, gparted, and I'll show you them when we go into the desktop. So there's other things that you want to install. So the thing is now Python, right? Python 3 is already on here, yeah? I think it's dash version, I think. I'll just do Python. There we go. So it's 3.9. There's also Pygame on there. Yeah, so all the Python stuff's on there. I think Java's on here by default. No, it's not. Right. So if you want to use this for, say, C64 development, you have to install Java. But I'm not going to do that. But I think you'll do something like that. Yeah. But what we're going to do is, let me just see if it's on here. No. And let's see if that's on here. Ah, Git's on here. Right, so we don't need to do anything about Git. So if you wanted to install Node.js, same thing, at install Node.js. If you wanted to mess around with Node and stuff like that. Same with, like I say, Java. I think. Oh, it must be something else. Oh, it must be something like headless Java, I think. Hang on. Search Java. Wow. Lots and lots. Who would want to mess around with Node.js? I'm having to mess around with it, mate, because I need it for work. Because Node.js is the underpinning architecture of SAP Fiori. So I'm having to learn how to do that to code Fiori apps. Well, I'm not looking for Java. Do I want to? I mean, I'm messing around with it. It's alright, I suppose. Right. Now, and the other thing is to install VS Code. And I think it's that. There we go. I think it's, yes, it's definitely that. Cool, that's taking a while. 95, 90, here we go. So this is now installing VS Code onto the Pi. Now, I could show you how to install .NET Core if you wanted to, but I don't think you guys are interested. But that's part of my standard install, is installing Java, installing Node.js, installing .NET Core, Git. Well, Git's already on there now. But I won't punish you with a .NET install if you don't want to use it. Right, that's it. So we'll come out of there. Ooh, is it quit? How do I get out? How do I get out? Oh, you want .NET? Okay, okay. It's a slightly bit more in depth, that is. Right, so we'll log on to it. We'll log on to it. Right, so here we go. Let's activate it. Oh, as my... Oh, no. I wonder if my... Well, the Pi's on.
Hello, John here. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the stream.
Oh, have I got a new follower? Nice. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Who's following? Oh, it's the guy who rescued me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for following. Right. Here we are. So I have now moved. Right, I'm gonna have to stretch to get here. Right. Installing .NET. First, we need to go and get the .NET runtimes. Right, okay, Google. DuckDuckGo.com. This is very unnerving for me. Hang on. Let me move that to there so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I can see what I'm doing. I thought I had it set up. I thought I got it nailed and still goes wrong. Look. Right, so we go into the VS Code site and you just download, and I think it's that. But let's have a look. See, that's Windows and Linux. We want... Oh, I've installed VS Code and it's .NET. Sorry. I've installed VS Code, it's .NET. What do you mean no internet? There we go. Download .NET Framework, and we want the core. Oh, all these third-party thingies. Right, we want core. Oh, okay, okay. Have they updated it for the... I thought it was on .NET 5. I thought it was on Core 5 now. It's not called Core. But we up. Did you see it? Okay. That's the one. Download. Yeah, I know that they were standardising it. Here we go. .NET 6. So .NET 6 downloads. Right. So we want. Now I've moved that. I've got to shift it now. We want the SDK. So we want the ARM32 version of it. That one there. Because we've only got the 32-bit. I do .NET development. I do it for my job. But I've also been messing around with .NET Core on the Raspberry Pi. Because I have websites and cloud servers and stuff like that, and I want to see if I can make them into Core. Yeah, C#. I mean, originally I was a VB developer for many years, and then became a C# developer. Right, that's now downloaded, so we should. Right, I'll boost this because even I can't see that. Preferences. Oh, there's the thing. Ooh, wrong one. Wrong keyboard. Oh, it won't let. Oh, size. Okay. That'll do. Made it really big. I might go back and do it on my SSH if it's going to be a pain. Right, so we need to make a directory. So make and where we're going to put it. We'll put it in the home. Put it there. And then we need to let me do it from here. Ooh. I'll be there in a sec. Right, let's turn that off. So we're back here. I'm going to do it from here. Yeah. So we should have a new directory called .NET, which is there on my arrow there, and we should have, there we go, we've got a zip file that we're going to unravel. So what we're going to do is we're going to tar, we're going to expand it. What was that ding? We're going to expand it, and then we're going to tell it to copy to. We're going to tell it to expand it there. So I'll just wait for it. Cool, you'd expect something back. There we go. Right. So we've expanded it, and then we've got to do some tweaking, yeah? Now, I was told that if you do this and then do you can get it to automatically add it, right? Because we got to set the paths apparently, and that it was like this.
Hello, John here. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the stream.
Have I got another follower? Oh wow, another follower. Right. I'll find out who you are in a minute once I've sorted this out. So we set in .NET root is equal to home.net. Hello. Welcome. Micro machine learning that. Welcome. Welcome. Well, we're getting on to good old fashioned 6502 in a minute, but we're just doing this. So the next thing you have to do is you have to export to the path as well. So equals that colon home.net apparently. So you got to do that, and then that's that when you log on, yes, when you log on, that will then incorporate that into there. So .net, right? So it's not done it. So let's just get it to reboot, and hopefully it'll come back. Hopefully, hopefully.
Hi, John here.
Oh my God!
Subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Docster. Dude.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
I could have logged out and logged back in again. That's alright.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Docster, you are so generous, mate. So generous.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
You alright?
Hi, John here. Another
It's still going.
Stay a while. Stay forever.
Right, so we've rebooted. So hopefully we should be able to. There we go. So we got .NET installed. So there we go. So .NET. So this will allow that. So .NET will allow you to So if you go on their website, it tells you all the commands to do it. But Visual Studio Studio Code, Studio Code handles .NET. Because you can install all the things. So we'll do that. Let me drag that over here. So I can... Too many keyboards. Watch me go and use the other keyboard by mistake. So let's get rid of that. So we should have VS Code in here. There we go. So we got VS Code in there. It's set up. I'm just gonna go dark theme, Done. And you then install your extensions that you want, yeah? So there's no extensions installed at the moment. So we'll install the Python one, because we're going to be using Python and Pygame. So we'll install that. We will install... We'll install Prettier. Whoa! Let's go back up. It's a really teeny tiny screen for me. We'll install that. What else should we install? C#. Install that. Git Lens, if you wanted to install that for all the Git stuff. It's really, really cool. So we'll let it run through that. It shouldn't take too long. But what we're going to do is we're going to, once Python's installed, we're going to go and see if we can, we're going to clone one of my repos. Yeah? Going to show you how to clone a repo. Alright, so let's go into GitHub. There we go. Right, which one shall we pick? Which one shall we pick? So we're going to pick a Python one, yeah? Because you guys want to know how to, you know, take one of my repos and put it onto the Pi, right? So there's Hunchback, there's the Pi version of Hunchback. But we will, let's see if it's there. Hey, Nico, what do you want? Hey, what do you want? What do you want? You started coming down this side, have you, mate? Hey? Oh, I thought it was here, but it's not. Well, it must be in the Patreon repo. Okay, we'll go with a small one. We're not going to do Pi Hunchback, so we'll go with Achinoids here. So this is a Pi game. So we're going to clone this onto the Pi. Now there's a dead easy way of doing this, right? What you do, you click on code, click copy, yeah, then go into VS Code. So it looks like that's all finished now. You click on source control and you can say clone repo, and then you put the URL in. So hang on, I nearly went on my keyboard then. I did copy it, didn't I? Right click, paste, right, and you go okay, I want that, and then it says where would you like to put it. So we're going to put it in there. I'm going to create a directory called Python, create, and we're going to put it in there. So that's the repo location, and off it goes. It's now going to my repo, and in fact it's done it. So it's just asking me to open it. Yes, I trust this. This is mine. So this is Achinoids. And if you wanted to play it, just click on main. And because we've got the extension installed now, we should be able to play it. There we go. Oh, I'm not quick enough with the mouse. Hang on. Let me do it again. Right, here we go. Here we go. No! It's very off-putting, this is. There we go. So this was Achinoids. Yes, they've had their meds. Right. So that's how I set up Yeah, it was called Arachnoids for the Vic and the C64, but it is Breakout. I mean, we could do Hunchback. Let's do Hunchback. Let's clone Hunchback. I've still got the Git repo up, haven't I? Yeah. So we'll do the Pygame version of Hunchback as well. Go back. Here we go. So the same thing again. Do a copy. Go into VS Code. Click on Source Control. Now, because we've got this file, this project open, you're gonna have to close it, yeah. And then it should show you the clone repo. So Source Control. There we go. Just waiting. Clone repo. Paste. I nearly went on the wrong keyboard again. Paste it in. Press Enter. Tell it where you want to put it. So we're going to put it in the Python directory. Select. Let it do its stuff. And when it's finished, it will ask you if you want to open it. Alright. And click open. Yes, we're going to trust it. So this is the Python version of Hunchback that I did a long time ago. Click play. Here we go. So this is Hunchback for Python. So for all you guys that have bought one of these Pi 400s, and we're going to do Myriad on here in Pygame, you'll be able to follow along now. Alright. Well, that took longer than expected. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse now. Using the wrong mouse now. Alright. So that's my standard setup. Set up a file share so we can transfer files backwards and forwards. I mean, let me transfer some files in there, yeah? Let me just transfer a project that I've got. Where is it? Where is it? And we'll see if it works. It should work. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And it's not in that directory for a kickoff. It's in that one. That's the fella. That's the one I want to copy. Right, you can't see this, yeah? So I'm just going to copy it over. There we go, it's in. So I'm going to now open it up. Go back, go to the share. There we go, there it is. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm not sure, but I will turn it on just in case. I'm not sure if my capture card's going to capture the sound, because it seems to be capturing my voice, so I'll leave it. Right. But same thing. Press main. So this is in the patron. This is in the patron repo. Yeah. So if you've got a Pi 400, you can download this, and it's in the patron repo. It's my version of Asteroids. And this is written in Python and Pygame. As you can see, I'm not that good at it. Alright. Is that okay? Any questions for the guys that have got the Pi 4, the Pi 400? PyMega can... Yeah, PyMega is in image format. So what you do is you download the image, right? So let me show you. Let me show you. You download the image and then use the Raspberry Pi imager. Yeah, use the Raspberry Pi imager. But you download into the downloads, and then what you do is at the bottom here it says custom, use custom. So when you click that, you can actually, like here, I've got, look, there's a Raspberry Pi image and another one. You can click on the image, right? Click open, and then that will burn that image to the SD card using the Raspberry Pi imager. So you don't need any other tools, yeah? And as Face says, it probably needs 64 gigabytes to run in, yeah? And if you go on the Discord, if you go into my Discord in the Patreon channel, I think, yeah, there's some pins. There's some pins in the Patreon channel where there's a C64 image, a VIC-20 image, a C120 image, a +4 image, and a PET image you can download and directly write it straight to SD card. So if you want to turn your Pi 400 into a VIC-20 or into a Commodore 64, yeah, you can do that. Right, so that was a mini stream on how to set up a Pi 400 Pi 4 that my patrons asked for. I will be splitting this off and making it into a separate video when it comes to it, and it will be a separate video when it goes onto my channel. But that's how I set up my Pis, the default Pi. You know, it has Node.js on it, it has .NET on it, it has Java on it, Git, and all the other things. Alright, so I'm going to shut down the Pi. There we go. Shut down the Pi. Let's just check that it has shut down. Yeah, the light's gone off. And we have a visitor. Not for long. Right, let's get right. Let me just shift. Let me just shift all this out of the way. My desk is just full of computers. So, Docster, was that okay? Enough information for you to be dangerous? Yeah, a Pi 4 and a Pi 400 I think can handle a 128 card. So all those instructions I've got in a text file, yeah. So I'll put them into Discord, so you'll be able to grab. So you can just copy and paste on yours if you want after the stream. All right. So hopefully, any questions from my patrons who are buying a 4 or 400? Any questions? Yeah, you want about being about an hour into the stream for that, don't you? Right then, if there's no other questions, let's crack on with Myriad. I'd like to thank all the Patreons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.